So here I am with Andrew again, my boyfriend.
And I'm here with Devyn, my girlfriend.
Yes, and we are going to do part 2 of the Q&A that we just did part 1, but we got some questions and we wanted to answer them without feeling like there's a time constraint, so we just decided to break it up into 2 different videos. And so we're going to start with the first question. How did Andrew decide to become a musician and when?
Well, I always have different answers, but to go back early, it's when I started playing video games. Definitely Koji Kondo's work on Nintendo video games inspired me to start picking up instruments that I had laying around the house, like a little wind organ, and picking out the ocarina songs that you could do. I don't actually want to play it for you guys right now, but maybe in some videos.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, I started picking out those songs, and then I got introduced to some bluegrass musicians, Lily Mae and Frank Rishi, really great players, and just seeing a family band like that was really authentic, and it made me want to be a musician as well. And a third thing would be my dad really liking AC/DC. I always really liked AC/DC also, and wanted to play guitar like Malcolm specifically, but then I started liking to play guitar like Angus Young as well. Just learn all those types of songs. So I always have something to do.
A good story.
Thank you.
Alright, the next question is, which 60s/70s couple represents us best? And I think that's kind of easy. A lot of people say it, and it's probably more with just looks. I don't really know how couples are in their natural couple environment, so we're just gonna go off of style and kind of career-wise. I definitely say
Patty Boyd and George Harrison.
Yeah, definitely, because I'm kind of into the fashion and I really like writing and everything, and obviously a guitar player.
I played George Harrison in Beatles tribute bands, and when I met Devyn, as we explained in the last video,
he was George. I thought he had brown
George.
hair, yeah.
And I thought you were Patty Boyd.
Next, do you think you influenced his style, or was he already into the 60s and 70s look? And when I met him, he was actually wearing this shirt, and he's wearing the classic Wranglers like he always does, with the kind of pleat down the center of the pants, which is really nice, and his boots that he always wears, which I had to find for his Christmas present, even though they don't sell them anymore. I found a pair. But anyways, besides that, so he kind of was already dressing 60s and 70s style.
But not really intentionally. And after we started dating, I did see myself, I need the Devyn stamp of approval before I buy something. I gotta make sure she likes it.
Yeah, well, he has really good style, just all together. And then he started kind of getting jackets that he's been wearing. So maybe I'd help you accessorize.
Accessorizing, that's a word I would never would have used before.
Yeah, well, jackets and then also hats. Andrew wears hats now, so.
I wear this one.
Yeah, so maybe I've influenced a little bit, but he definitely has his own sense of style as well. Alright, our next question is, how did we end up living together, and is it hard? And we started living together. I was living in not Branson, but I was living in Osage Beach, Missouri, as you know, and I just really have always kind of loved Chicago. Even before I knew Andrew, my friend Cassie and I, shout out to Cassie, what's up, dude? We would take trips down to Chicago all the time to watch the Liverpool Legends before I even knew about Andrew. But yeah, so I've loved Chicago, and then him living here was kind of a bonus. Oh my gosh, that's great. And I don't know, we just kind of got sick of the long distance life.
Devyn was living in Osage Beach, and there's not really much out there for her. She wasn't really meeting anyone at the job she was at, and
I didn't know anybody.
Kind of seemed like a dead end in a way, and we knew that we wanted to have a future, so it just seemed natural that I had extra space at the house. She could come live here, and she could maybe work on her career some more and just grow more as a person. Yeah,
and it's been really great. I love it. It's not hard at all.
No.
I lived with my brother, Christian, before I lived with Andrew, and as much as I love Christian, we're not very good just housemates together, but it's super easy. I've never really felt it's hard, I guess, living here. Yeah, I don't know, is it hard to live with me?
It's not hard, it's easy.
Alright, so the next question is, where do we see ourselves in 5 years, and what are our plans for the future? So in 5 years, I can see the two of us definitely traveling more, and I definitely see Andrew on tour with Abley House for sure, going places and playing with them.
That's my YouTube channel / band. I see myself us having a house out together in the woods and having like a workspace where we could both do like our social media type content online, sort of in an area where we have enough space and we're comfortable out there, and growing on YouTube and Instagram
and the blog and everything. I think we both really have some big goals set there and big dreams, so I think that we're gonna work to achieve those together.
Exactly.
Next question is who's our favorite character from The Office? And I love The Office. I've watched it probably like 3 times over like the entire series, and my favorite character is Dwight by far. He's the funniest, and I just like love him with all of my heart.
I don't watch The Office, so I'll just say Michael because that's one of the names I know.
Okay, so the next question is, what is one artist / band that one loves and the other one hates? And I don't really think that I dislike anything that Andrew listens to. We both are kind of like, I don't know, on the same page with the whole music stuff.
I think I listen to some more like blues artists.
Yeah, we definitely listen to like different stuff, but I like everything that he listens to.
Texas Alexander, he's an awesome musician he's the singer, and Lonnie Johnson is the guitarist. Really amazing stuff on this, something from the 20s. And I showed Devyn a lot of my like collection. I was trying to impress her with how old my music gets, but I don't think she really got into it too much, but she doesn't hate it.
No, I definitely like it, and I think it's interesting. And we both show each other different stuff. Like, I think that I know more probably like 60s stuff than you do.
I was gonna say on your side of the spectrum, it would be like the Ramones maybe.
Oh yeah, I do like kind of like punk music and stuff.
More punk than I really get into, but I don't mind listening to it. I think it's good for what it is.
Alright, next question is, what is our favorite moment or memory together? Do you want to go first?
I was thinking maybe in Paris. That was really awesome. We just went to Paris like a couple of months ago, maybe last month. But we just had a really good time exploring together and just traveling and just really doing whatever we felt like doing at the time, and we had an awesome experience together.
Yeah, that was really cool. That's definitely one of my favorites. I'd say probably my favorite is like the couple of days that we spent where it was like our second and third date, I guess, which is our second date. We've been talking for like months before this, but anyways, would be when we had our first kiss. Like, it was really cute. It was in my car, and I was like texting on my phone because I could feel like that he wanted to kiss me, like he was like looking at me, and I was just kind of like, no, and I just like shy and stuff like that, but I was like texting my phone, like trying to, avoid the situation, but he was like, hey, and then so I looked at him, and then it just kind of happened, and so yeah, that was really cute. And then also when he told me that he loved me for the first time, I just had like butterflies in my stomach, and that was really sweet, and I regret not saying it back the first time.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah. I didn't say that I didn't love him or anything. I just didn't say it back. So yeah.
It was fun. I didn't expect it.
Yeah. In the moment kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Next question is, what is something Andrew does that bothers me?
She's excited for this.
Yeah, let me think here. No, I'm just kidding. Not really anything he does, I guess, really bothers me. I don't know. You don't hang up your coat, but that doesn't really bother me or anything because I don't care. Oops, sorry. But I guess if I was going to say something that bothered me, but it's also a good thing too, is that he's such a hard worker. Like, he just likes to work a lot. And next question is, did you start liking 60s music before or after you started dressing vintage style? Well, I kind of started liking, we were learning about World War II and everything in history class when I first, I guess, started kind of, like, I really started getting into vintage style. So that kind of led me into, like, 40s and 50s hairstyling, which I really like. So I'd, like, do pin curls and do all that kind of stuff in my hair, but I didn't really dress vintage. It was definitely when I started listening to the Beatles, and then I started like looking at pictures from the 60s, and I saw like pictures of Patty and Jane and Cynthia and Maureen and everything, that I really started liking specifically like the 60s style, which really made me want to dress like that. I've always been kind of like an eccentric dresser, I guess, but for the 60s specifically, it was after listening to the music.
Yeah, for me it's definitely, I just liked the music and the style, had nothing to do with it. A lot of the music I listen to, I don't even know what the people look like. I just like the songs or the melodies.
Yeah. How do you know if a guy likes you, and should you make the first move if signs point to yes? And from a girl's perspective, I'm never really good at like telling or reading if people, I guess, like me in that kind of a way. I don't know, you can kind of tell, I guess, by the way that they talk to you and the way that they treat you, like that they go out of their way to do really, really nice things. I mean, you can kind of tell if they do that with other people, if they're just like super nice or whatever. But if you do get some signs that he does like you, make the first move. I was the first one technically to make the move here, and
well, you just introduced yourself to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I thought you were cute.
I feel like I made all the first moves necessarily, but I was gonna say on that for a guy, you have to wait and make sure that you know that things are right before you start making moves. Otherwise, you are gonna be a creep.
Yeah.
And you can kind of get a vibe when it's gonna be okay, when that someone likes you back, and you need to wait for those moments.
Yeah, definitely. But if you're getting signs like that somebody likes you and that they're like just too scared to, I guess, I don't know, tell you or something, you should do it, because I don't see why you wouldn't want to. And if you get rejected, then just move on, and just, that's not the right person for you. Next question is, what are your favorite new albums? So I don't really listen to many new bands or modern music or anything like that, but there are 4 that I listen to. Number 1 being Alley House, of course, Andrew. But for like favorite albums, I love the Lemon Twigs, so we both do. They are so cool and so awesome. I love Brothers of Destruction and Do Hollywood. Both are fantastic. What's one of your favorites?
Yeah, I also don't really listen to the new music, or I wouldn't be able to name off a full album. But I do like certain artists, like I think Ed Sheeran's pretty good, but I would really not interested in listening to a full album. But when I hear the songs, they're cool. I was gonna say the Lucille First.
Yeah, some of our friends. Shout out to Lucille First.
We like our friends' music. Underground scene.
They're so good. If you don't listen to them, you definitely should. They're from Chicago. Some of them just moved to LA. So for all you California people out there, they're great. They've got like a psychedelic kind of 60s vibe, and they're really good with fashion too. So that's awesome.
The drummer Brendan plays on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, shout out to Brendan. And also, I really love the Blackfoot Gypsies, which has been a band that I've been trying to see live for so long. I've seen them play one song live, but they're some friends of mine too. Well, one is Matthew, hello, and I really like their album To The Top, so listen to that. They're from Nashville. Alright, the next question is, where is our favorite place we've traveled to / where do we want to travel? I think the obvious answer here would be Amsterdam, the Netherlands. When he was on tour, that was really, really fun, and the Netherlands is just absolutely beautiful. Amsterdam is a beautiful city, so that was really fun for me. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely my favorite place as well to travel with you with.
Yes, and then where do we want to travel? So we actually are hoping to take a really big road trip this summer and go to like Portland, Oregon, which is I really, really want to go. I could definitely see myself living there. I've heard it's absolutely beautiful. I love Portlandia. I like that it's supposed to be just like a super eccentric and like cool artsy place. And I also love that it's kind of up north and on the coast, and so there's like huge trees and forests that you can hike around in, which is something that we both really like to do. And then we want to also take a trip to Seattle, right?
Seattle,
on that same
Colorado,
trip.
and LA.
Yeah.
Just one long trip.
Yeah, just do like a huge kind of a thing, and yeah, definitely LA. Next question is, do you have any tips for a long distance relationship, and do you think yours made you a stronger couple? So for long distance relationships, definitely just communication is super important. Just because you're not together doesn't mean you can't communicate and you can't like talk. And so Snapchat's really good for long distance relationships just because you get to like see each other. So it's not just like a text that's being sent. It's nice to just see their face. And then also just like FaceTiming, that kind of stuff is really awesome that we have that kind of technology. It makes life a whole lot easier, way better than sending letters. So yeah, I just say communicate daily, talk about your day, do like a recap. So it's just nice to kind of like create the illusion that you are with the other person. Go detailed in what you did, and you know, just
the small things count.
Yeah, the small things really do matter.
Even if they're not interested.
Yeah, I think ours definitely made us a stronger couple, because you have to just kind of like learn to trust each other, and you have to be a couple apart from each other before you're a couple like physically together as one. So if you can do that, then yeah, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
This next question, I'm not really sure how it pertains to the two of us, but we'll answer it, which is, how do you get such long legs? I'll answer first. I would say that my mother gave it to me. Shout out to Mom. Thanks, Mom. And yeah, Andrew, how did you get such long legs?
I think I just ate food and they grew.
Yeah,
Not
just
really too sure.
eat food and they'll grow.
Yeah.
Build it and they'll come.
If you build it, they will come.
Oh, I've never seen the movie, but...
Yeah. Oh well.
So that is the end of our Q&A. Thank you to everybody who sent us questions to answer, and I hope that we didn't miss any in the whole situation. Thank you also for watching, and everybody have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye!